its head. Not his fault that Grischuk lost the position. I love when Magnus does that, right? He's like he's such a gamer and appreciates chess so much. He's like, well, I mean, I won. I'm happy to win, but, not my fault. Grischuk blew the position.
Absolutely not. And it's important to note the clock left in this portion. So there's just under 7 minutes, which means that if this game goes super long, many moves,
this could be it.
The last
we could
game.
be moving to bullet right after this. Possible. Quite possible.
And 7.5, 6.5 in Magnus' favor as he slouches over and puts his head in his hands. Grischuk kind of not moving from his... Except when he sits up fully, he's just been in this position the whole time. Kind of looking like the Grim Reaper in some ways.
Magnus is he's got a serious, we'll call that look number 9.
Queen b3. I thought he just blundered
a bishop.
But if bishop d3,
I guess the rook is hanging and it's a problem.
Maybe you can't trap. Somehow you can't trap it. Yeah.
Let's see it from his point of view. He's considering it. Carlsen is at least. He's like, can I take that?
The problem is after bishop d3, I want to go queen b7, you castle, I take on a8.
I want to trap your queen, right?
Right, that's what I'm trying to figure out how to do that. Queen c7.
Queen c7.
Then I go rook, knight e5.
Queen c7, knight e5.
I hit your bishop on d3.
With tempo.
Yeah,
you dirty, rotten scoundrel. Yep.
It's an important tempo to throw in.
Yep, and Magnus has leaned in. We can see the naturally receding hairline right now. Just kidding.
That looks like a healthy head of hair.
That looks like a healthy head of hair.
But he does look like he's in kind of a horror film where he's in a medical facility because there's like that creepy light that blinds you a little bit. So, and the shadow here.
Right.
I think I've seen that in some Saw movies. It doesn't look... But he's spending too much time here. You have to play a little quicker because look at the time advantage, a minute and 10 seconds.
Well, this is the opposite of what we've seen. Carlsen's spending a lot of time shaking his head. He makes the trade. It was a critical decision. I mean, he wanted to know whether he could take on b7 or not.
Yeah. And, okay, now this is structural nightmare for black in many ways.
Yeah, the c pawn is backward and not happy.
Knight's coming to f4 to d3 in many lines. In fact,
what's first, rook c1 or knight f4?
Probably knight f4, right? Because now you can't go c5 because d5 is always hanging.
Yep, very good point. Now maybe be patient, put the rook on c1.
Yep.
You can also try to bring the queen to c2 at some point with a double attack, so black has to watch out for that.
And now queen d3 to a6 at some moment. In fact, maybe now spying on a5 and c6 is very difficult for black to counter. Well, the knight goes back to e7. But start with rook c2.
I don't know, I like your queen d3 right away. Okay, he likes your move now, rook c2. I guess patience. Patience, young Padawan. He's going to bring the other rook into c1.
Yeah, this has to be trouble. Queen d3 to a6 now is looking pretty difficult to deal with.
Okay, well, Tarjei Svensson, Norwegian chess journalist, also still agreeing with Hammer that Carlsen's bullet skills will be proven. We'll see.
Is there some homerism there?
I think those two guys haven't really been known for being unbiased about their opinion on Magnus Carlsen, but we'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
And to give Hammer even more benefit of the doubt, he's probably played some bullet and plenty of.
Of course he has.
So queen a6 now is
g6 makes sense.
But queen a6 is annoying. Is Magnus going to try to go b3? You would hate to see that move come on the board. Yeah, b3 is horrible.
Yeah, b3, terrible.
Just rook c3, and if you go queen b4, go knight takes d5, and I just pick up material.
I love the way you said that. Pick up material.
Yeah.
Next time. Yep. It's all falling apart right now. It's all falling apart for Carlsen after a big win. g5. What in the world?
So if knight takes g5, there's knight takes d4 is the idea.
Tactics.
But then there's queen d3 at the end of that.
Queen d3 and you have nothing.
And there's mate on h7.
That's a lot of mate. That's a lot of action. I think it was a bluff. Knight g5. Look at Grischuk he's got the I think you're bluffing Russian lips going. He just peered directly at me. He just peered directly at me in the camera.
He doesn't want you to talk about him like that.
I don't think he's listening. I'm telling you, it's just coincidence. He's looking at Carlsen.
But it's scary.
Because they can see each other. Everyone wants to know. Yes, the players can see each other, which is one of the coolest parts about the format.
Look at this. Knight d3 just...
Knight takes g5 was +3. We were right. The engine agrees with us. Our assistant relays the message.
But I don't...
Wait a second. Hold the phone. Queen takes d6. It's just going to win pawns. No, the knight's coming into e4.
But b3 is also hanging.
Okay, when the smoke clears, we'd be shocked if black's not just down a couple pawns.
Yeah.
But
Knight takes c5 here.
But knight takes g5 was winning earlier. You can even take with the pawn, I think.
Probably, yeah.
I think both moves probably do the trick for Grischuk. He's also up a little bit on time. We need to be watching the clock closely. It could be the last 3-minute game. This could be the game that sends us into the bullet portion where the gloves really come off.
Yeah, I'm really loving White's position. But yeah, Black does have some counter chances, especially with the knight coming to c4. Look at this. The knight's not... So, knight d2? Right? What's wrong with knight d2? Just solidifying.
I have no idea. It looks simple. Then you can pick up the d-pawn next, right?
Yep, I just don't want the knight to come to c4. It's my only idea. Yeah, with this much time left on the clock as well, Grischuk is in great shape.
Yeah, it's rare for him to be. Yeah, Maxime Vachier-Lagrave agrees with us.
Man. Yeah, knight d2, there's just no real moves. I guess you do have to be a little careful. Like, yeah, exactly. Rook b4 is coming.
Yeah.
But now rook takes a5. Take that one first. No, this is easily winning. The problem is the knights get traded. I see the problem. The problem for Black is if the knights get traded, the rook will just sit behind the pawn.
We've officially let the players know, anticipating that we're not going to see a quick ending here, that they will have a 3-minute break, and then we will start the bullet portion. Rook takes g5 is check.
That is
no
very
back
true.
rank mate for you. h4, I think. Okay, g3 fine too. Okay, but now I guess.
So how many pawns? So
whoa,
2 pawns. So I've just go sit your rook on b4.
Yeah, but he's got strange threats, right? I guess you sit the rook on b4 and things. Yeah, things are probably fine.
Yeah,
if you sit the rook on b4 and there's nowhere to run to.
No, I need if you go rook a2. The problem is for white, you can't.
Yeah.
Ooh, I hate that.
If
move.
you ever take here, he takes here.
So king f3, coming to f4. You could probably go f4. King f4, that is.
Yeah.
You can also go h3 and play it slow.
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously lines where you go here, he takes here, you get a4, he gets this with check. But the problem is this king is, the pawn is well worth the activity. The king and d-pawn will, if not promote, create enough of a mating net around the black king to cause real problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny if you look at the 2 cameras of the players, the light from Magnus's room seems to like be starting the lightsaber that is running behind Grischuk's head there. Right?
And here comes the d-pawn.
I think next, if Grischuk moved on to the finals, there should be some sort of prop bet about how many times will he blink during the entire match. If we can keep track of, crazy things during a Super Bowl, we should be able to keep track of that. I mean, look at he hasn't blinked. Oh, there he goes. Okay. Whoa, he's human.
He's human, yeah.
All right. Time is ticking, but still this should be pretty even.
So the game should be winning for white. Oh, but what is...
But the e-pawn is irritatingly...
So king c4.
What? Is it that easy to win this?
No.
That seems unnecessary.
No, now he needs to win it all over again.
Well, Grischuk is like kind of... You can tell he had the little bit of a, why did I do that again? Face? Like a little bit of a...
Yeah, look at Maxime Vachier-Lagrave. He goes, what was that?
Yeah, MVL's like,
Bueller?
Okay, well, he's going to bring... Okay, if he gets the king to f3 and the pawns aren't targetable, he's fine. But the problem is Magnus isn't going to make that easy. He's going to maybe even just like rook f2.
Grischuk offered a draw.
And he just took it. Okay.
Wow, he needs a break because that really may come back to haunt him. Because
it may come back to haunt him. He was up a lot of pawns. He was up way too... I mean, let's back up, everybody. I mean, he was up...
2 pawns.
He was up... I mean, what in the world? Stay put. He was up way too many pawns. I mean, this position is just way too many pawns here for white. You got to find a way to convert this.
Yeah, you cannot throw a win away in this kind of
Okay, well, it's been a little bit of a story of the match. If there are 2 things that would describe for us why we feel that currently Grischuk is down a game, it would be time management issues and... just not converting on some of his wins. I mean, overall, you can't say that Grischuk hasn't played just as good at chess.
Yeah, I think actually he's had the advantage for a larger percentage of the moves that have been on the board. It seems like every game well, not every game, it's a stretch, but for a lot of the games we've had, Grischuk has been the one with the advantage, and unfortunately for him, he's been letting it slip in many cases. And Magnus himself clearly knows that because he's been shaking his head at various moments, both out of relief and because he's somehow saved some really